Poker Tonight is brought to you by UB.net. Welcome back to Poker Tonight. I'm Joe Sebok, and you all know Scott Huff. And our guest today is 6-time WSOP bracelet winner and 2-time Montana State arm wrestling champion Lane Flack. All you need to know right now is there was a challenge issued and a challenge accepted. So you guys ready to get into this?
Let's do it.
All right, let's assume the position down here.
You're the 2-time Montana State champion. I'm the 3-time Boca Raton JCC arm wrestling champion, K through 5. So I'm just letting you know that off the bat.
I'm just letting you know you get a spot.
All right,
boys.
We'll start from here.
I've seen over the top. I'm employing everything I know.
3, 2, 1, go. Well, it took a little longer than I thought, but as usual, another one for Leno, which really is no surprise because he's got his fingers in every pot. Take a look.
Say hello to my little friend.
So there it is, a day in the life, or many days in the life of Lane Flack. And other than the fact that you're the world famous back-to-back Flack, why do you have camera crews following you around all night and day?
You know, I guess a lot of people think that Life in the, as we call it, Fast Lane is the name of this reality show that we've been working on. It's in the preliminaries. It's just, you know, some pilots, but I mean, Life in the Fast Lane is such a great name.
Well, poker's a very streaky game, too. I mean, we mentioned at the top, back-to-back Flack. That's because you won 2 bracelets in back-to-back events in 2002. You came back in 2003, won 2 more bracelets, then a lull from 2003 to 2008 without bracelets. I mean, you've got 6 of them, but they come in chunks. What is it about maybe your playing style, or what is it about poker that makes it such a streaky game for you?
Well, I don't think it was my style of play that did it. Well, actually, you know, when I used to be such a strong, aggressive, offensive player, and then when the internet came involved, you know, and we had these younger players that are just firing much harder and going at it, I now had to devise a defense and try to learn that one, which is, you know, I never used that too much. I was the offensive player, but when you're at a table and you got 5 people with an offense, you got to create a defense, and that pretty much set me back a little bit, and then that style didn't really work, so now we got to shift back the other way. You know.
Go ahead.
So like in football, they say defense wins championships. Well, in poker, I think offense wins championships. So, you know, the old adage of in poker used to be if you're at a loose table, play tight. If you're at a tight table, play loose. But I don't think that holds true anymore. I think if you can't beat them, join them.
Well, what exactly does that mean? If you can't beat them, join them. So if it's aggressive, then you go with the aggression?
Well, I just think overall, more aggressive players, that's what wins tournaments. So, I mean, in live games, money games, or whatever you want to call them, I think, you know, defense is more important than in live tournaments.
So we can always count on Lane for some wisdom. You're a guy that's been around the block in poker. If you could give any advice to up-and-coming poker pros or aspiring poker players, what else would you tell them? I
mean, if it's based on experience, I would say don't take anything for granted. You know, you're learning how to handle success at a very early age, and you know, the education that comes behind it or the experience will, you know, bite back at you if you don't be careful.
Lane, thanks a lot, buddy. It's always good to have you.
Oh, it's always a treat being with you guys. Love the show.
All right, during the World Series of Poker main event, Darvin Moon kept everyone guessing. Not only his opponents, but also his wife, people at home, probably even some of the cameramen who could see his hole cards. Well, he let Poker Tonight in on some of his secrets in the tank. In this hand from the heads-up portion of the 2009 main event, Joe Catter raised 2.5 times the big blind with King Jack, and Moon opted to call with Queen 8. The flop came down Jack, 5, 6, Rainbow. Let's pick up the action from there.
Top pair for Joe Catter. Catter bets $3.5 million with his jacks.
Here, I'm thinking he's just trying to push me off the hand. You know, I didn't think he hit it. And I thought, and I still got one card, you know, I got an overcard, and I'm gonna give it a shot.
Raise.
And a raise announced from Darvin. He makes it $8.5 million. So a big test to young Joe Catter here. And he makes the call for $5 million.
When he just called, I couldn't put him on a jack either. I figured if he had a jack, he's coming over the top of me. I didn't re-raise him. He can't put me on Jack King. I mean, I don't know why he didn't re-raise me back there and just shut the hand down right there. He left me see the next card, and I got lucky.
Moon pairs his queen on the turn to turn this hand upside down, and he checks top pair.
I felt that he didn't have, you know, Jack Queen. I felt he had just one pair, or he'd have re-raised for sure if he had flop 2 pair or better. So I check, get him to bite again.
And Kata checks behind him. Wise check. River card is a deuce. Moon with the check mark again.
You know, if he hit 2 pair, he's gonna fire on me big time. Yeah, I was sure I had him here.
And he will bet it. It's about 1/3 the pot, 7.25 million.
I was wanting a call or a raise. I definitely didn't want to fold. I would have been happy if he re-raised me. You know, if he would have raised, I'd instant call. I'd probably instantly went all in.
I call.
Joe makes the call. Darvin turns over the pair of queens, and with that pot, Moon is once again the chip leader at the main event.
If I had to do that hand all over, I'd have played exactly the same way. I don't think I could have got much more out of him on the river. I might have been able to get 8.5, 9 out of him. I think if I went 10, he would have folded. I'd have played that hand exactly the same way.
So overall, how do you think Darvin's logic holds up there in that hand?
Well, I think that once Joey ended up calling the raise on the flop, the hand plays out pretty standardly. So really it becomes a decision of, defending with the queen-8 and then making the naked steal on the flop. But I don't think he was that out of line there, to be honest with you.
And he made $5 million. So I'm certainly not going to comment.
Who's to judge?
When we get back, who are the best players in the game you may not have heard of yet? Sebok and I share a few names in high stakes, low profile. Plus Dana Workman and the weekly misdeal. More Poker Tonight on the way.
How would you like a free seat, all your travel expenses paid, and the chance to hang out with me at the 2010 World Series of Poker main event? It's the Poker2Nite Pro Challenge, and it's totally free. UB.net is giving away 2 packages every week. If you win, you will also be coached by me or Annie Duke. But honestly, why wouldn't you want me, Phil Hellmuth? To be eligible, just head over to UB.net and sign up using the bonus code Poker2Nite. The Poker2Nite Pro Challenge, brought to you by UB.net.